Welcome to An Awful World, but not awful like you think.
This is the show where we discuss whether we would have discovered important advances in a world exclusively full of Haylies and Libbys. I'm Haylie.
And I'm Libby. And today, we're talking about meat. Meat. We have the meat.
We have the meat sweats.
Ty is already shaking his head at us. Hi, hello. Welcome back to the pod. I don't think we have any housekeeping items.
No, we do.
Oh, we do?
Yes. So, knock, knock, knock. Housekeeping. So, I want to shout out our new patron, Megan M.
Ooh, thank you, Megan.
She is an awful fangirl.
Fangirl.
We want to say thank you so much. We appreciate it.
We appreciate your support.
Yes. And if anyone else wants to be a patron and get a shout out and all the fun little stuff that comes with that, you can visit us at patreon.com/anawfulworldpodcast.
Yes. And there are 3 different tiers that you can subscribe to. They come with fun things, including shout outs. So check it out. Let us know what topics you want to hear about in the future. But for today, we're talking meat.
Yeah, this is episode 3 of our March Munchies.
That's
series.
right. March Munchies. Meat. Protein. Get your protein. Gotta get your protein.
I'm eating it.
A conversation we have too often.
So often.
All right, let's dive into it.
All right.
Meat.
Meat.
Okay, so I was really curious about how long have we been eating meat as just a human people?
I would assume since fire.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
A hella long time for sure. So our earliest ancestors, so not actual early humans, but our earliest ancestors were very close to chimpanzees.
Yes.
And their diet mostly consists of like fruits, nuts,
bananas.
Yes, all of those sorts of little things. They probably ate a little bit of meat here and there. It's estimated that about 3% of their diet consisted of meat, which is insane because I would say, I have nothing to back this up, but I would say that 80% of our diet today comprises of meat.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. Do you ever you don't cook dinner. Ty is the cook. Ty is the chef of the home.
That's what I have a husband for.
Well, I cook a lot and I enjoy cooking. But if I don't include some sort of animal protein, it's Brian doesn't think that it's real dinner.
Yeah, then it's grill dinner.
Yes. And it's just well, what do you cheese has protein, so
beans has protein.
Yeah, so many things. So just let me live in peace.
I know,
but only 3%. I mean, that's really not a lot. So then it probably started to shift towards scavenging animals that were already dead.
Yuck.
I know, that is yuck. And then it developed into actual hunting after we made tools, so that we had tools to butcher them and
probably just murder them,
do other stuff that I don't feel super great about.
No,
but so 2 million years ago it became a regular part of our diet.
2 million.
That's
a long time.
I know, it's too much to think about, to be honest. And then of course we've talked about domestication before in a really, really early episode, and by the point that we hit domesticating animals, it takes off. That's the reason we're domesticating them, is because we want them for either meat or milk.
Yeah. And as we all just learned, we're not doing the milk thing.
No.
So we're not domesticating them for that. And as we learned in our domestication episode, I have renamed it befriendification.
Yeah.
So if you think that I'm making all these friends and creating a little home for them, I'm not going to murder and
slaughter
eat them.
Yeah.
So I don't see meat taking off.
I don't either. Just as an early, in an awful world.
No.
I don't think so, for so many reasons.
Yeah.
Most of which is I don't want to have a hand in killing something.
No.
Which is stupid because I love chicken and
Love it.
cheeseburgers.
Yes.
And
A
all
steak.
sorts of things. Yes.
Pork.
And I'm like,
I'm like that guy in Mulan. Beef, chicken, pork.
yes, I want all of it.
But I'm not going to murder them.
No. If it was today, like you eat what you kill, then no, I would strictly be like a forager.
Yes.
I would be eating leaves.
A little freaking vegan.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. And I'm not like necessarily like, obviously I'm not morally opposed to it because I do it literally every day.
Mm-hmm.
But
we're so far removed from the process. Like I just go to the grocery store and I pick out my chicken breasts.
Yeah.
And they are literally just a little piece of meat. They don't look like chicken. And chicken is like the weird one where we actually still call it by the name of the animal. But
that's true. I never thought about
like,
that.
Let me go to the store and get my cow and my pig.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like we're
like pork,
like
steak, beef.
Yeah, we're just like so removed from it.
We're very desensitized.
Yes. And like, I think specifically because a lot of people can't handle that.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know?
Yeah.
And I definitely can't.
No. It makes you wonder how many people would actually eat meat if it was like not like it is now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I will say growing up, so when I was in middle school, we moved out to the country and my mom's husband would say sometimes like, oh, you would never survive if you had to go out and kill the chicken and pluck it and things like that. And I'm like, you're right. I'm not. But like, you don't do that either. Like,
why are you criticizing me? You don't know how to do it.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, let's see you go out there and cut that chicken's head off and pluck all its little feathers.
Go ahead.
And take all its little organs out and see how you feel about it.
Yeah.
Because I know that you like animals too.
Yeah.
So don't tell me that I'm so weak because I'm not a murderer.
Yeah, no.
And
I'm not into that.
And I'm just saying, my big thing is what's one of the first characteristics of a serial killer?
Well, it's either torturing animals,
bingo,
wetting the bed and setting fires, bean pot.
And
torturing animals.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, I'm not gonna, it's normally like little small animals, but like a chicken is a little small animal.
It is. But you know what my mom always says about chickens? They're just walking vegetables. Like they just don't really have a lot going on upstairs.
Well, that's okay.
No, I know it's okay.
There's a lot of people out there who don't have a lot going on upstairs, but I'm not murdering and eating them. No,
it's fine. It's of course fine, but I think I would feel less bad. I wouldn't feel great about it, but I'd feel less bad than like doing that to a cow.
Yeah, I mean, cows are just like big dogs.
I know.
You see those eyes and they're just like...
Yeah,
ugh.
Whereas chickens, I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah.
But that's probably because I don't really like birds.
I was going to say, we're not bird people.
No.
But I'm still like, I think that I would still name it and...
Probably, yeah, like Mike the Headless Chicken.
Yeah, and then I just kind of like slowly fall in love and be like, well, now we're buddies.
Now I can't kill you.
Now I can't kill you. And also, I just kind of am like, I'm a little afraid of birds.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, they're like tiny, but...
That's not something I'm going to be...
I'm still afraid.
Going after. I couldn't probably catch a chicken if I tried.
No.
Because I think inside of me, I don't really want to.
Yeah.
So I would always just stop myself.
Yeah. And here's my big question. When it comes to meat, there are like very specific animals that we eat right now, you know. But where do we draw the line as a society? You know, like right now people are like, oh, well, you don't eat cats, you don't eat dogs.
Right.
But at the same, and I mean, it's like they're pets, but like we eat fish and people have fish as pets.
That's true.
And so I looked up like, why do we eat some animals and not others?
Yeah.
And I'm sure some of it is like, well, based on taste.
Yeah.
And, you know, things like
that. Some of
that.
it's religious.
Yes. Some of it's religious. Some of it's just like cultural norms or like your level of familiarity with the animal, which I think is why like cats and dogs are really off limits.
They're too familiar to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also I'm like, but people who have cows, they're very familiar with them.
That's true.
So again, how do you just like not fall in love? How do you pick and choose?
Honestly, I think it's just people that grow up in that kind of like setting.
Yeah, they're like very much conditioned to
They
think,
are. Yeah.
like don't fall in love with this animal.
And I think like
you're gonna eat it.
even my grandparents, like my dad's parents, you know, they definitely grew up like they were both born like during the Great Depression. And I think even just that, you know, 100 years ago, 90 years ago, so different than what the world looks like now. And so I think it was just kind of like you do what you have to do to survive type of thing. You know what I mean? I don't think it even crossed their minds.
Yeah.
That it's like, and also probably like animals like cows and chickens that are raised on farms like that, they're treated much better and they have much better lives than like the ones coming from, you know, that their meat's going to the grocery store and all of that. Like, it's got to be pretty different.
I know. But then I just like feel bad because, okay, like with beef in particular, there's like, is it Kobe beef where they like don't let the animal move around so that it like doesn't develop really any muscle and so it stays really
like fatty
and like soft and things like that.
I don't know.
And I'm just like, oh, that feels so inhumane. And how do you take a cute little cow with his big, big eyes?
Yeah, I know.
His little snoot. And then you just like chain it down and are like, don't move around.
Yeah.
And let me just like overfeed you.
Like literally just for my enjoyment.
Yeah. I would be like, okay, like I know you want to go wander around, but what if we like had a spa day and like took a nap and it's just like me in the field snuggling with this cow to be like, let's just lay down. But then again, we bond and fall in love and then
you can't
never murder it.
Then you can't.
We just like live out our days as besties. So
why don't we eat horses? Do you think that's a familiarity thing?
Probably, but
also we use them for transportation.
And I feel like it's like a muscle thing.
Yeah, that's true. They are really muscly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that probably doesn't taste good, does it?
But I know that like in Hamilton, we have resorted to eating our horses.
That's true.
So
they were desperate.
They have eaten their horses.
Yeah.
But again, I know you're like survival instincts. You don't really think anything of it. As we all know, I don't have survival instincts.
And I do. But I don't know if it's enough that it would lead me to do that.
Yeah.
So in my research that I was doing, apparently it has a lot to do with like the size of your brain. So like I saw this picture, not of people like tearing apart a giant elephant, which I did, but I saw this picture that's like early like ancestors of humans versus like some of the first humans. And it was like a comparison of their brains and like how like different the size and the shape of it was, which I was like, oh, like it makes sense that like your body needs like protein to survive, right? But like also like it's good for your brain. And like people who are like vegan or vegetarian or whatever, they have to take like supplements because they're not getting like all of the essential nutrients that they would if they were just eating meat.
If they're not like tracking like what they're eating better. Yeah. Because I mean, you have to get your protein and you have to figure out where you're getting that from. And like cottage cheese has a lot of protein, but that's also dairy. And now yogurt,
some types of yogurt have a lot of protein in them.
Yes.
Are they dairy products?
Dairy? Yes. Okay. Yeah. I was like, I know that like yogurt, there's like microorganisms in it and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I'm
like probiotics.
Yes. But I was like, is it dairy?
Yes, it definitely is. So this is something that I was thinking about. Just like in an awful world, we don't have dairy.
Correct.
And probably we don't have meat.
Well, we might have human dairy if we have dairy.
Okay, but that's...
Are we making human yogurt? I
have to go vomit now. That's...
Eat the gurt.
Terry loves yogurt. Anyway. So we probably don't have meat. We probably don't have dairy, maybe human dairy, whatever. Where are we getting our protein from in an awful world?
Beans.
Just beans?
Probably beans and nuts.
Yeah, okay. Nuts do have a lot of protein. Yeah. You're right.
Tofu, which is made from beans.
But we wouldn't call it tofu.
No.
Right?
No.
Tofu's made from beans.
Isn't it soy?
Oh, that checks out. Yeah.
Soy?
Yeah. What is seitan made from? Do you know?
I don't
Have you ever had it before?
No.
It's not good.
Oh.
So I won't name any names, even though I think this this restaurant is now defunct, but there was a restaurant near where I used to live that shall not be named. That was like a strictly vegan restaurant. And like, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I hate it here. And and I had seitan there one time. It was like a buffalo seitan wrap or a salad or something.
Seitan, more like Satan.
Satan. And it was not good. And I was like, if this is going to be your specialty, if like vegan food is going to be your specialty, you better do it damn well.
And I'm sorry, but if buffalo can't fix it,
then nothing can. Yes, thank you.
Have you ever had Morning Stars?
Yes.
Okay. Have you had the little buffalo nuggets? Oh my God.
Are they good?
So good. They're tofu.
Okay.
And they're so good. And Megan M, our patron.
Whoa. Double shout out.
We were roommates. Oh my God. And they were roommates. We were roomies in college for a bit. And I always had those. And she was like, Morningstar is like the devil, right? And so I was like, no, they're just little,
are they?
They're little fake chicken nuggets. And but like Morningstar is apparently a name for the devil. And so she'd always be like,
what?
Yeah, apparently. I have no idea. But she'd always be like, you and your little devil nuggets.
my ethically sourced devil nuggets.
Yes, my devil nuggets. But they make buffalo ones and they're like spicy and delicious.
Maybe I'll try
tofu.
them. Interesting.
So,
you know what's funny is I think as a kid, and this is kind of harping back to like diet culture, but I think as a kid that I thought that eating vegetarian would just make you skinny. That's not true. Yep. Because so I like say this because I think I had like turkey burgers. Or, well, that's not vegetarian.
That's not vegetarian.
But you know, they have the Morningstar burgers that are like vegetarian. I think they're like black bean or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are good. And I definitely recall like having those like in the house at some point. And I think it's because I thought like, well, if I don't eat red meat, then
like,
I'll
it's
just
a
be
vegetable.
thin. It's like, okay, but you're still eating like a pound of French fries with this vegetarian burger. So good luck. Like I don't.
Like the quarter pound of red meat really wasn't the issue.
Really
it was
wasn't.
probably the deep fried.
As it turns out, I'm like, give me extra meat because I want that protein. Because I got to hit my macros because I'm annoying as fuck, bro. Oh my God. So anyway, I do think it's interesting though. Do you feel like in the last like 10 years that like vegan, vegetarian stuff has gotten so much better? Like the technology has just gotten better.
Yeah.
And also like gluten-free stuff. Like, you know that like Banza, I think it's Banza pasta.
Oh yeah,
the chickpea pasta. What? That tastes so good. Back in my day, I was like, I guess I'll just like make some zoodles out of the zucchini and pretend that it's noodles, like in the shape of it, but it doesn't taste like it. Yeah, you're like,
that's still just zucchini.
Yeah. Same with like spaghetti squash. I'm like, just kill me if I can't.
Love a spaghetti squash.
I mean, it's good.
But it's not pasta.
But it's not a replacement for that, which is how I was trying to eat it.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I'm just like, ooh, a spaghetti squash. But then tomorrow, I will still eat pasta.
Well, yeah, because you should.
Yeah, because it's delicious.
But it also has protein in it because eggs.
Not always.
That's true.
Like when we went to that fancy dinner and they make pasta out of
it's just semolina and water.
And water.
That's
Most of your dried pastas they don't have eggs in them.
Interesting. Well, now I know.
So we'd still have pasta.
Yeah, then that's good news.
Yes.
So, okay. But yeah, I'm just not I'm not confident on the meat.
I genuinely just don't think that we would do it. I don't think we have the stomach for it. Here's my thing. There are people who have the stomach for that, and good for them. And there may be Haylies and Libbies in the world who are psychopaths.
We've established that.
Yes, they're going to have the serial killer gene if there is one or whatever. And maybe they are trying to like torture an animal or something. But I think the other Haylies and Libbies would stop that the second they saw it. They would be
think so too.
Stop doing that. We're not murdering. We're not messing around with the already dead things.
Dabbling in your witchcraft.
That's disgusting. Don't do that.
What is wrong with you?
Exactly. So I think that we would just like, we've already just established that like we're going to be into the agriculture because we have to be.
We have to be. It's the only way for us to live.
So we're just going to like be really big into like the beans and the nuts.
Yeah. Do you think we're going to be like big peanut farmers like Jimmy Carter?
Probably.
May God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you something else. And I didn't look into the history of this. And I kind of wish now that I'm talking about it that I would have, but I didn't. So we're here.
All right.
So pepperoni.
So pepperoni.
Follow me. Follow me here for a second.
Yeah.
Things like pepperoni and salami and prosciutto and all the other delicious
All
things.
the good things.
Those are just cured meats.
Yes.
In other words, we don't cook them, I believe. I think it's just like salted and dried out.
Yeah.
Right?
I would assume.
Do you think, hear me out.
Okay.
Do you think in potentially a very arid environment of the world, like Egypt, because we're going to talk about this in the future.
Yeah.
All
Foreshadowing.
Right? It's already on the old brain. Yeah. Subtle foreshadowing. In a very arid environment like Egypt, are there pigs in Egypt? I don't know. A pig dies in Egypt.
It's like a weird riddle.
If a pig dies in Egypt and there's no one around to eat the pepperoni.
Wait, is a pig pepperoni?
Yeah, well, you can get pork sausage, yes, or like turkey pepperoni.
I do like turkey pepperoni.
But
That's
pepperoni is pork, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why did I think it was beef?
I think you can get beef pepperoni, but I think it's just more like most like prosciutto, those sorts of things
prosciutto I knew, but
pork.
I don't know why I thought pepperoni specifically. All right, anyway.
But back to my riddle. If a pig dies in Egypt, then that should be the name of the episode. If a pig dies in Egypt. And then it just sits there and we're like, ugh, and we don't approach it for a while.
Brother,
and then it starts to dry out.
Are you going to eat it?
Are you?
No, I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to be like,
I can't even.
Spooky little shriveled pig. Kick some sand over it. Cover it up. Get it out of here.
That's just going to cook it faster.
Yes, but then I don't have to look at it. Ew.
I don't know why I'm asking you this, but do you think if any of the Libbys of the world would be persuaded to approach the dead pig in Egypt?
You might approach it, but are you going to put it in your mouth?
No, probably not.
That's disgusting,
No,
Libby.
probably not. Okay. So this is something
You're going
else.
to look at its little dried out eye socket
and
put it in your mouth? No.
Okay. So here's something else that just occurred to me. I wonder how much of our like desire and need for like certain nutrients, it drives our ability to eat meat.
Are you going to talk about the fisheye thing again?
Yes. Have we talked about this on the podcast before, do we think?
I know that you have talked to me about it.
Yeah,
but I don't know
definitely
if
have.
it was on a hot mic.
I don't know if it was either, so we're just going to talk about it again.
Yeah.
So Haley's already heard this, so I'm just talking to you now, listeners, just you and me. There was this show called I Shouldn't Be Alive, and it was fantastic, and I highly recommend that you watch it. But anyway, one episode was about a guy who was like, on his own sailboat, sailing somewhere, bad storm, sailboat capsizes. He has, rescue raft, and he floated in that for like 3 months or something. And like at one point, and you're out there's no fresh water, as you know. Drinking salt water will kill you horribly and quickly.
Yes.
And so he like he figured out how to like distill water and get the salt out of it by himself because he was very intelligent. But at a certain point, so he caught a fish and he was like, the fuck am I going to do with this? Because I can't cook it.
Right.
But he's like, I have no idea why, but I just knew that I needed to eat the eyes because apparently they're rich in some nutrient the human body needs. And it was just like his brain knew that he needed it. And I'll also say this about like pregnant women. Sometimes pregnant women eat dirt.
Yes.
Because their bodies know like you need this nutrient that is in dirt.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Here's what I think. I would literally rather kill myself. I have said several times, I have no survival instincts. If I can't make it nice, I don't want to live. And do you think in a world where it's like, either you're going to die or you have to eat that eyeball, which do you think I'm going to choose?
You're going to die.
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to be like, kill me quicker. Like, I'm not doing that. I would rather you stab me than me eat that eyeball.
Doesn't it just make you wonder? Do you ever think about things like the Donner Party, for example?
I would be like, I volunteer as tribute. Someone kill me fast,
but they
then eat me.
They didn't kill anybody. They just ate the people that were dead.
Yeah, but
because they did what they had to do to survive.
Right, but I would just be like, just murder me.
You don't think in like even your most desperate hour of like, I'm going to die if I don't do this. You don't think you could?
No, I would be like, just kill me faster.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't want to speculate about what I would do because I have no idea. Part of me thinks like I could do it if I had to, if I really, really had to.
I'm very much a like steer into the skid. Just
it's better to die.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I have literally no survival instincts. Most days it is a fight to be like, just keep going. So.
And you can get your meat at the fucking grocery store and you feel like this. Exactly.
So you think like in the world of luxury right now where like I can just go and buy my chicken and not have to associate with it. And I'm still like, life is too hard. I just think that I would be like, what is the fastest way to kill me to just get this over with? Because I'm not doing that.
I just genuinely wonder about the like human like instinct and resilience to like survive.
It's going to be on the Libby's because the Haylies, we're just going to drop like flies.
I don't know if you can fight that instinct. I don't know.
I just don't think I have the instinct.
I don't know about that. You're a human. You have to have some sort of human instincts.
I mean, I have human instincts, but not the ones to
live. Your instincts are, every human instinct is like stay alive. That's animal instinct.
My will to live dwindles by the day. So
But in a truly like, this is life or death situation, you don't even a little bit think that instinct of like, I need to survive.
No.
Kicks in.
No.
Interesting. Well, I hope the Hayleys taste good.
Yeah. I'm like, I mean, the Libby's would have to, but which at that point, here's another thing. Like if it's meat and this thing's already dead, so do we eat it? And then what's the difference between cannibalism and regular like animals? What's the difference?
What do you mean? The difference between us eating other humans and us eating animals?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's drawing the line somewhere, but again,
I mean, conscience. I mean,
look at my dog right here. You're going to tell me she doesn't have a conscience?
No, she has a conscience.
She's an angel.
She does. She has a conscience. That's why I would never eat a dog. But like, you think
so does a cow? They have a little soul.
Do you think a chicken has a soul?
Yes.
Really?
I do.
I don't think any birds have souls.
They definitely have souls. I don't think that they're the nicest of souls, but like people aren't good either. So like,
I mean, yes, but I'm just like, I don't
draw the line.
I don't know. And that's probably,
I think I'd rather eat another person than I would like murder a cow and eat it.
Well, it's definitely like when I go see a movie, I don't want to watch an animal die, but I'll watch a person die over and over in a movie.
Yeah.
Not in real life. I want to clarify that.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I think that I would have the instincts to survive. That's all I'm saying. What would that lead me to do? I don't know. I'm not sure because I have no idea. I really would like to know. It's one of those like great mysteries of life, right? Like I really would like to know who and how, who was genuinely the first person to be like, all right, guys, I'll sacrifice myself. I'll try it. If I don't die and if it tastes good, we may be onto something.
I know.
You know what I mean?
There's always somebody who had to have been like really bold. And I'm just like,
with things like this, I'll always wonder.
I know.
Like who had these ideas?
I wonder if it was like someone's house burnt down. And then like, or like, I don't know. This was probably pre-houses, but like, someone's cave burns down and like them and their pet, someone and their pet died in it. And someone else was like, well, it smells really good.
I know. I thought about that too, but but
again,
I would have to confirm that early humans didn't like, I wonder if they didn't consume raw meat.
I feel like they would have had to have.
Yeah.
But again,
because like animals can. Yeah. Animals do every day. Mm-hmm. You don't see your dog out in the backyard with a squirrel over a spit, just roasting up a squirrel.
That'd be so funny.
I know it would be really funny. But, and so it makes me wonder too, because obviously like we are animals too. We're just really intelligent animals. I mean, surely we can eat raw meat. The problem is
like steak tartare is a thing.
Yes. The problem is that there's bacteria and all of that.
Yes.
But I don't think that's as big of a concern in a society like this, like an awful world.
Yeah.
Because we don't have supermarkets. Mm-hmm. We're not, killing a cow in Japan and shipping it to the United States. Shipping it to the United States for your Wagyu beef.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. You're just going to kill whatever cow's out back and you're going to eat that. It's going straight to your table, farm to table in the truest sense.
Exactly.
And so it's like not going to have time for bacteria and things to grow on it.
That's true. But also I'm just like, even cooked meat can hurt my tummy.
Oh, for sure.
So
we know that I get pork does something to me.
I know, same.
And I wish,
I love it.
I know I do too. And I wish my body could process it. You know how much I like ribs?
It's worth it.
And I haven't had ribs in a long time because they always make me sick.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I do think if I had to, I could live without meat. I
definitely could.
Don't want to.
Yeah.
Not in this world.
No.
Now, in an awful world, as you always say, we don't know what we're missing.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So
you can't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't matter anyway.
It's like when people are always like, wouldn't it be so weird if we could fly? And I'm like, well, no, because then we would have always flown and that wouldn't be weird.
It'd be weird if we started figuring out how to fly now.
Now, yes.
That would be weird.
Yes. But people are always like, you just wrecked this game. And I'm like, if we sprouted wings tomorrow,
let's think
yes,
logically.
That would be weird. But if we always had them, no.
It's like the type of people, though, that ask questions during a movie or they're like, but if that's this, and it's like, just shut up. Just let me enjoy it.
Watch the movie.
Just come on. Yeah. Let's not think so logistically about this. Yeah. Then there's the other side where a person's like, what is that? And I'm like, I'm also just watching this for the first time. I have the same amount of information as you. So I don't know. But I'm assuming that throughout the course of this movie, we're going to figure out what that is.
Exactly.
Or maybe we won't. Maybe I don't know.
And then we'll discuss after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sip it. Sip it.
Yeah.
So, definitive no.
Yeah.
On meat in an awful world.
That's true.
Yeah?
Yeah. We're just going to have to here's the question though is are we going to know what protein is?
No. Mm-mm.
So we're going to have to, I don't know. We're going to have to
experiment,
supplement somehow. Cause it's not like we're going to be like, yay, let me eat leaves every day. And
I think we'll figure that out. If I eat a bunch of leaves, I get hungry faster.
Yeah. We'll just be like, yeah, wow, these beans are just really doing something
filling.
For me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we're going to have to get really into beans and really into nuts.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Which is totally
nut
fine.
Butters. Mm-hmm. We're going to have so many nut butters probably.
But not nut milks.
And not nutter butters either. So
we could have nutter butters.
You think so? Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
You know what? In the next episode, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
We'll talk about nutter butters.
That's a deal.
I almost said nut butters.
Nut butters and nutter butters.
Nutter butters.
Do you have anything else to say about meat?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think I do either. It's a pretty straightforward answer on this one. So apologies if this episode's a little bit shorter. But tune in next week for our part 4 and final installment of our March Munchies series.
Yes.
Where we talk about the different types of foods in an awful world. Would we have it? Would we not? So far, we've done dairy and eggs and snacks. And now we're doing meat. And you're going to have to figure out what we're doing next week by tuning in.
Right.
In the meantime, as we said, check us out on patreon.com/anawfulworldpodcast. Give us a like on Facebook, Instagram. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts or YouTube, and check us out every Friday wherever you get your podcasts. But until then, we hope your day is simply awful.
Ooh, you're welcome.
Down with the sickness. Let's get down with the sickness. I forgot that I'm not supposed to whisper. So I'll remember that now. Because I do a lot of whispering.